What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AC Reviews the World. I am your host, AC the Engineer, and we are at episode 62. Let's give it a round of applause. Yep. We're at episode 62 now. Moving on up. A little earlier today. I got stuff to do today. So, hey. But we never miss. And we got a lot of things to cover. We got a lot of things to talk about. The world is always a crazy place, so we got to review it together. We have to review it together. Hope everybody's having a beautiful Saturday. It is the 1st of November. Hopefully everybody had a good October, good Halloween yesterday. I didn't do anything. I just relaxed. But if you went out, partied, hopefully you didn't get too crazy, and hopefully you made it home safely. But you know how I like to do it. I like to get right into it. Let's get right into it. The first thing we're gonna cover today, we gotta cover the updates to the Hurricane Melissa stuff. So we gotta go over and cover the updates to all the Hurricane Melissa stuff. So we got a few videos to look at, 3 videos to look at. So let's get over into it and see what all we can learn from this situation. Like always, if you disagree with me, please let me know. And let's have a discussion about it. But let's get over into it and see what we can find out.
Hurricane Melissa is finally weakening as it heads out into the Atlantic after breaking records and leaving a path of destruction in the Caribbean all this week. At least 50 deaths are being reported due to the storm, including 30 in Haiti. I want to bring in Jacqueline Charles. She is the Haiti and Caribbean correspondent for the Miami Herald and has covered Haiti most of her career, knows the island very well. So Jacqueline, you understand how hard Melissa hit the island. What does it look like this morning?
Well, yesterday they weren't able to get out because of the weather. But in the South, they are still digging themselves out from under the storm, even though Haiti did not get a direct hit. But we have to remember this is a country that's very vulnerable. It was raining for over 8 days. Houses have been washed out. Among the 30 dead are 10 children who were killed when a river jumped its banks in a coastal town, Petit Goave. And of course, the food situation. We already had almost half of the Haitian population not finding enough to eat, going hungry. And now this is going to add to that because a lot of the farms in the southern region of the country have been submerged under floodwaters.
Yeah, when a civilization or a country is already not doing well, and some of the residents are already going hungry, and a natural disaster hits, is always bad. It's always bad. So we got to pray for them. Hopefully they get aid. And we're going to talk about them sending aid a little bit later, but it's absolutely tragic. Said children, 10 of them were children. It's never good when the children die, but let's keep going into it.
Wow. So this is a country, as you know, that struggles under the best of days. What is recovery going to look like? How are people going to get the critical food, water, supplies that they need?
That's a very good question. I mean, I was just there last year. This is a region of the country that's completely cut off from the capital because of armed gangs. Roads have been cut off because of the storm. It's already difficult to get there by road. It's dangerous. It's expensive. There's only one helicopter. It's the World Food Program helicopter, and every couple of months they're having funding issues. The UN is doing the best they can, but they're in a financial crisis. So it's going to be a lot because while they have been sheltered to some degree from the gang violence, they've been suffering as far as the humanitarian crisis is concerned. And now that suffering is going to get even worse because if they were able to be a little self-sufficient, now imagine no crops. You know, your homes have been destroyed, schools have been destroyed. You already have a country where healthcare was on the brink of collapse because people have fled or you can't get medication in. There are no U.S. flights into this country directly from Miami other than a Haitian-owned company. So this is really not a good thing for Haiti, unfortunately, for the percentage of the people who were still sheltered from the gang violence, you know, and all that it has brought. Now they too are battling this disaster.
It is just horrible. Jacqueline, thank you for all the reporting that you do and for keeping Haiti front and center in the news. We appreciate you, as always.
Absolutely crazy. It's a very tragic situation. We just got to pray for them. We got to pray for them. And then natural, like I said this all the time, natural disasters is something you can't predict or something you can't stop. You just have to got to make our way through it. Absolutely crazy. Let's go over into this next video.
This is the view of Black River from the air. Utter destruction as far as the eye can see. For days, the coastal town was completely cut off, the road blocked by rubble and mud. Today, we found mangled debris lining the road. Portions are still flooded. When we finally reached Black River, everyone we met was desperate for help.
We need water, no water.
Donna Barnes told me the day Melissa hit was the worst day of her life.
Has help been able to get here on the ground?
No. No one come around and say, no one.
Brianna Legister says she can't swim, and as the floodwaters rose, she had to find a way to float with her son to safety.
We don't have anything, everything washed out. We don't have any clothes for the baby. Everything gone, roof gone, house gone. We don't have nothing to sleep on.
Take a look at the devastation at the hospital here. The roof is completely gone. The windows of this ambulance blown out. And this is the wrecked children's ward, where several babies were being treated during the storm.
Here in Black River, residents are lining up for supplies, whatever they can get their hands on from a local pharmacy.
Officials say at least 19 people were killed in Jamaica during Melissa, bringing the storm's total death toll to at least 46 across the Caribbean. In Cuba today, more rescues after rain soaked a region already battered by Melissa. This man carried from his home on a soldier's shoulders. While back in Jamaica, officials promise more help is on the way. More relief flights are arriving each day. And despite significant damage to 2 terminals, Montego Bay's airport will begin commercial flights tomorrow. Very welcome news for stranded tourists.
The first caravan of relief is scheduled to arrive tomorrow as organizations and nonprofits mobilize to enter the hardest hit communities. For those living in these unimaginable conditions, that help can't come soon enough. We thank you.
Absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. Let's get over into this next video where they talk about sending aid over to some of these places.
These are rushing relief to Jamaica. The island nation took the hardest hit from Hurricane Melissa. Local 10 was on board a relief flight bringing aid to the heart of the crisis. Local 10's Gabrielle Arzola is live in Miami International Airport with the story. Gabrielle.
Hi there, guys. Good evening. So throughout the day, like you said, we've seen much needed relief touch down in Jamaica, not just helping the general public, but also religious groups as well.
The damage in and around Habad of Jamaica in Montego Bay is extensive, but some stranded tourists and heavily impacted locals have sought shelter at the property, just as the rabbi there serving other people despite his own circumstances. Today, a massive help as private planes full of essential goods land on the island with some much needed kosher supplies, an effort organized through South Florida.
We have no words to thank you. We have over here medicine, clothes, food. It's going to be going right away. We're going to try to get as much of it out before Shabbos.
An on this Jewish Sabbath, even more relief efforts touching down on Montego Bay and Kingston with canned foods, bottled water, and batteries to reach people who need it the most. Even the U.S. Southern Command dispatched 40 U.S. military members aboard choppers to carry out humanitarian and disaster relief assistance. Broward County rallying for donations in their area, and in Miami-Dade, the Global Empowerment Mission has spent several days packing up boxes in their warehouses in Doral, providing life-saving goods to help everyone affected. But for the Jewish community on the ground in Jamaica, there's still a push for more kosher supplies like rice, crackers, and snack bars, small packs of shelf-stable milk, baby supplies, hygiene products, and clothing.
You are saving lives here in Jamaica, and Hashem should bless you.
Now, helping this island is certainly far from over. We have a full list on where you can donate on our website at local10.com.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. It seems like they need a lot of things. It makes sense. A natural disaster happens. They need a lot of support, a lot of aid coming in. And the world has to come together to help. That's what we have to do as people, as a civilization. It's a crazy situation all about, but we got to make it through. We have to make it through. But that is the most updates to Hurricane Melissa. Let's see. So little numbers going around. Let me see. Okay, so let's get over into this. Now we got different numbers going out about the death tolls. I'm just going to do a quick search. Remember, always do your own research, but this is what AI has found. So let's get over into it and just to see, give us an idea of what's happening. So let's get over into it. So as you can see, let me zoom in some. I always like to show it so we can all see what we're talking about. Now, if you're getting different reports, let me know. But this is what a quick search does. So Haiti got at least 30 deaths confirmed. Jamaica, at least 22. We got the Dominican Republic at 4, and then 4 deaths in Panama. They say no deaths have been reported in Cuba yet. But they say overall the death toll has risen to 60. Absolutely tragic. Remember, Hurricane Melissa was a Category 5 storm when it hit, and just kept doing devastation after devastation as it made its way through. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy time. We got to come together as a people. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, we're going to pivot. We got to pivot. So, as we know, hurricane season brings a lot of rain. So over in New York, we got to go over to New York. Looks like in New York City, a basement flooding kills 2 people. So we got 2 videos to look at that. So let's get over into it and see what we can find. So let's get over into it and see what all we can learn from this situation. Absolutely tragic. Let's get into it.
Torrential rain leads to flooded streets all over the tri-state, and tonight those floodwaters turn deadly. We've got team coverage tonight.
Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg with where the storm is right now, but we begin with these deadly floodwaters. One man died in a basement apartment in Washington Heights, another in East Flatbush, Brooklyn. And that's where Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo is tonight with the breaking details. Anthony, what do we know?
Well, Mike, Sade, it's hard to imagine, and a horrific final seconds of life for this man who was trapped inside of his own basement apartment as water gushed in. The city for some time now has been trying to get a handle on worsening flash flooding, but this, above all, highlights how out of control it's become. If it weren't for the apartment buildings, you'd think this was Louisiana swampland. But no, this was Bed-Stuy today, the rain unrelenting. In East Flatbush, the floodwaters crept from the street into a man's basement, rising as if it was a sinking ship.
I was here when they dragged his body out of the water.
That would be the last time Akiva saw his friend. FDNY divers went in, trying to prevent the 39-year-old man from drowning in his own home on Kingston Avenue. He was inside, trying to save his dogs, but no one could save him.
He was just a very pure, simple person. He didn't really need much at all, you know.
They said he was inside trying to save his dogs. Now, I know we love our pets and everything, but I mean, I guess some people would say that it's worth risking a life to save them, but I don't have a pet, so I can't. It's absolutely tragic, absolutely tragic. He was trying to save his pet, so, but he ended up losing his life. Let's keep going into this.
And he was a giver, he wasn't a taker.
They pumped the water out of homes in the area, owned by people drowning in worry with every raindrop.
Every single time when it rains, my heart and pressure goes up because I know what to expect.
In Washington Heights, another young man, 43 years old, found dead in a flooded boiler room. The effects of rainstorms have become progressively catastrophic for New York City residents who feel like they're being flooded out of the city and now losing their neighbors.
Why are the roads paved so unevenly that all the water becomes like the Noah's Ark here? Because people don't think. They don't think that, hey, maybe we should make things level.
You know, if I work every day, you know, and I pay my taxes and I'm crying out for help, somebody come out and help with the situation. I'm tired of crying out and nobody's hearing me.
She's 100% correct. Yeah, if you're a taxpayer, you expect that you pay your taxes, you're a good citizen. You think if you ask for help from the city that they would listen to you, and especially if multiple people are asking. But sometimes people don't like to listen. Let's get into it.
But somebody's hearing something today.
And that is a very loud statement. 2 people dead in one storm, essentially drowning in their own basements. The people who live here in East Flatbush tell us they put this storm among the worst they've seen in recent memory when it comes to the strong rain and the gusts of wind, and they are begging that someone does something about the slanting of the streets here to try to prevent floodwaters from seeping into homes. We're live in East Flatbush tonight. Anthony Carlo, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Anthony, thank you. This storm brought so much rain so quickly, and we've seen this many times before. Water pouring down subway stairs and onto platforms. This was also in Brooklyn.
Well, in New Jersey, roads were inundated with water, cars struggling in Jersey City, and in Bayonne, a young girl rescued from vehicle that was stuck in deep water.
In Queens, fallen trees also a big problem. Several coming down in the strong winds and torrential rains. One even crashing onto a brand new car.
Oh,
sadly, yesterday's storm is being blamed for 2 deaths.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now we're going to get over into this next video that just started. It's a season, this time of year, rain can be deadly. Too much rain, too much flooding, especially when the city's not designed to handle that much. It can cause catastrophic damage. It can cause death. It's something that needs to be looked into, especially it needs to be looked into. But let's get over into this next video and see what we're talking, see what it's talking about. Now, I believe this one's the 2 victims who have died in that basement in New York have been identified. So let's get into it.
One in Brooklyn, the other in Washington Heights, both trapped in basements by the floodwaters. It's an issue we've dealt with for years in New York City. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Jaysha Patel.
David and Sandra, we're on Kingston Avenue and Rutland Road here in East Flatbush, and we talked to residents in the area who described the weather conditions yesterday. One man said his daughter's car was swept away in floodwaters. It was carried all the way here behind me on the sidewalk, and many residents described the streets yesterday as a lake. Thursday's storm flooded subway stations, water pouring downstairs and onto subway platforms. Streets in East Flatbush looked like rivers, people wading through the water. One man says his daughter's car was swept away.
It's like a big lake here. Yeah, a big lake. That's my daughter's car. It's covered. It has insurance on it. They're going to tow it this morning to get fixed.
Fortunately, she was not inside. 2 people were found dead in flooded basements yesterday. Neighbors say 39-year-old Aaron Ackeberry went back into his basement apartment in East Flatbush to get one of his dogs and never came out. The FDNY scuba team had to go in to carry his body out. The owner of the building watched it all unfold.
Then take the body, get the body out. You go downstairs and it came back. And it went down back and it never came out. That's all I see.
Now, let me say something. I said this before when we watched the first. Going back in to get your dog, yes, I can understand where you want to, they're like your kid, you want to go in and save them. But at the end of the day, they're not your kid. Maybe, I guess they are to you. I don't have a pet, so I wouldn't go back in to save a dog. But maybe I feel differently if I was a pet owner. But absolutely crazy. It's a tragic situation no matter what. We got to pray for everybody. We got to pray for New York, Queens, New Jersey. Everybody's flooding. And then we also make sure we pray for the people with the hurricane from Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti. It's a time where we need to come together as a people. But let's keep going into this.
Police also say a 43-year-old man, Juan Carlos Montoya, died in Washington Heights during the storm. He appeared to have been attempting to use a pump to get water out of the basement when he was electrocuted. Neighbors are frustrated that their homes are flooding and neighbors dying.
Every single time when it rains, my heart and pressure goes up because.
So he didn't even drown. He did not even drown. He was electrocuted, trying to pump the water out of the basement to at least save something. Absolutely tragic. That's crazy. I wasn't expecting them to say he was electrocuted. Absolutely wild. Let's keep going.
I know what to expect.
And many remember when 11 people died in flooded basements during Hurricane Ida. Some residents say yesterday's storm was one of the worst they've experienced. In East Flatbush, Jaysha Patel, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Like I said before, it's a crazy time of year. You have to be careful. We have to be careful. We have to look after our neighbors. We have to look after the people around us. Be careful. Don't go into flooded basements. Don't try to, if it's flooding, get out. I know you want to save your valuables. I know you want to save your mementos, but it's not worth risking your life for. It's truly not. It's a tragic situation. We got to pray. We just got to pray. Hurricane season is getting to the end, but you never know. You never know. Just be careful out there, y'all. Be careful. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. And also, like always, let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Let's have a discussion about it. How is your community doing with flooding? Do you have to experience this type of stuff where you live? I can't imagine. I didn't know New York got that bad. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know your thoughts. Now we're going to pivot. We got to pivot over into Mississippi. We got to go over to Mississippi. It looks like Mississippi law enforcement bribery scandal. So we got a bribery scandal where I believe they said 2 sheriffs and 12 officers were arrested for bribery related to drugs. You would think that these people would know the law. They would know. Well, of course they know the law. They would know. They would have some sense of duty to the civilians, some sense of duty to the public, to the community. But no, they will take bribes to keep the drugs flowing. But let's get over into it. We got a few videos to look at. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all, but we got to keep reviewing the world together. We got 3 videos to look at. So let's jump over into it and see what we can find out and learn from this situation.
The FBI has arrested 20 law enforcement officers across the Mississippi Delta in connection with a major drug investigation. Charges include drug conspiracy, drug distribution, and aiding and abetting drug activity. Among those arrested are 3 current or former Mississippi Department of Corrections officers, Martavis Moore, Sean Williams, and Marcus Nolan, as well as former Mississippi Highway Patrol officer Marquavius Bankhead.
What happened here is the case started, the genesis of the case was people, oftentimes some criminals who, when arrested, they were complaining about having to pay bribes to various individuals. And when the FBI followed up on that, lo and behold, you found out that was the case.
Officials say they do not condone actions that violate the public's trust and have praised the FBI for its work on the case.
This is breaking at 6. A massive federal.
So let's get over into this next video. It's a crazy situation. Absolutely crazy. Bribes. They have to get the criminals were complaining that they have to pay bribes to the police. They have to pay bribes to the police so they can at least get out of the situation. Instead of taking them to jail and so they can pay for their crimes, let me slide you a couple $100. And then, hey, we can forget about the whole situation. I go about my day. Absolutely crazy situation. Let's keep going.
Takedown in the Mississippi Delta. 20 people indicted in an alleged conspiracy ring, including 2 sheriffs, several police officers, and a former state trooper. The charges target what investigators call a deep network of corruption. 16 WAPT's Brooklyn Joyner was at today's press conference and has the latest details.
Today's announcement marked the end to a year-long drug investigation that spanned across multiple parts of the Delta. This resulted in 20 people being charged, including 14 law enforcement officers and 6 co-conspirators. The United States Attorney's Office of the Northern District said those who were charged were involved in the distribution of illegal narcotics across the state lines in return for bribes. A few of the departments where the law enforcement officers worked were Yazoo City Sheriff's Department, Humphreys County Sheriff's Department, and Washington County Sheriff's Department. The FBI said they trafficked drugs to Miami and Memphis. The FBI said the investigation started when it received a tip about corruption within the Delta, and they put together a sting operation where they asked certain law enforcement officers to traffic 25 kilograms of cocaine. Bribes that these officers expected to receive in return were up to $170,000. The FBI says now it's their
$170,000. Yeah. They don't get paid much, so I guess they said, yeah, might as well risk their lives, their future, their pension, their family. Now they're gonna get sent away and they can't even see their family no more. For $170,000. Is that worth risking your future? Everything that you work for? Absolutely crazy. Think you're going about your day, doing the normal thing that you normally do, taking bribes. They say, yeah, traffic some cocaine. We give you, and they're saying, all right, yeah, give me $170,000. I'll traffic it. We'll do what we do. Now you gone away. Gone away. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
Mission to renew and restore the trust of the public.
We're talking about 14 current or former law enforcement officers, 6 co-conspirators who are alleged to have sold out the public, promoted crimes that they should have been investigating and stopped, and instead of working to stem the flow of dangerous controlled substances, the evidence will show they took bribes to facilitate the distribution of controlled substances.
Officials say the next steps will be a series of trials and accountability to restore the public's trust. In Oxford, Brooklyn Joyner, 16 WAPT News.
They got to restore the public's trust. They have to. Well, why would you believe that the police is going to do the right thing when people are taking bribes? The criminals that they're supposed to put behind bars, they're letting them go if they give them a good tip. Absolutely crazy. Let's see what else they got in this video.
Commissioner Sean Tindall and Commissioner Burl Cain released a joint statement tonight saying the Mississippi Department of Public Safety and the Mississippi Department of Corrections do not condone nor will we tolerate conduct that violates the public's trust, particularly from those who have taken an oath to protect and serve. Gonna have much more on the Delta drug conspiracy ring.
Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. It's a tragic situation, but you have to be hard on the police if they do some of these crimes. You have to. If they violate the public's trust, their safety, if they violate their rights, you have to be tough on them. Why? Because they take an oath to protect us. You can't be lenient on them, no matter what. That is just how it has to go. If someone is going to be a police officer, someone's going to be someone like that in a higher position, politicians, anything like that, when they are serving the public, if you find out that they're being corrupted, you find out they're doing illegal things, yes, have to be hard on them. There's no slap on the wrist. Absolutely crazy. Let's go over into this next video and see what else we can learn from this situation. Absolutely crazy. Let's get into it.
Let this be a lesson for those sworn to serve the public that if you're a good law enforcement officer, the FBI will always stand with you. But for those corrupt individuals who abuse their office, we will come for you.
We're learning more about those indicted and what the FBI is calling a drug trafficking conspiracy. Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Greg Hurst is off tonight. The indictments include more than a dozen Mississippi law enforcement officers accused of taking bribes while helping criminals. WREG's Brian Ditlake has been following the story and has the latest.
We're here today to talk about some incredibly serious allegations that mark it's just a monumental betrayal of public trust.
Clay Joyner announcing the indictment of 14 Mississippi law enforcement officers and 6 others. 2 of those indicted sitting sheriffs Milton Gaston of Washington County and Bruce Williams of Humphreys County. All defendants facing federal drug and gun charges.
No, we got to back it up some. Come on. You are sheriffs at one of the highest positions you can in the police department. At least that's my thinking, but if I'm wrong, tell me. When it doesn't matter about race, it doesn't matter about any of that. But you're making us look bad. I hate to say it. Oh, I know I don't hate to say it. You're making us look bad. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going though. Let's keep going.
County and Bruce Williams of Humphreys County. All defendants facing federal drug and gun charges.
I think you could probably characterize it as a sting, but again, the original complaints that began the investigation were from drug dealers.
Drug dealers who officials say complained about having to pay bribes. The highest, more than $30,000, according to investigators. The Mississippi officers mentioned in the indictment promised to provide safe passage of narcotics throughout the Mississippi Delta region. Now, while 14 of the defendants were local law enforcement officers in Mississippi, 6 others were indicted as well. WRG digging deeper found out that those arrested were in Shelby County as well as northern Mississippi. Documents show those 6 civilians committed crimes in Greenville, Mississippi. However, all had addresses in Memphis, South Haven, and Horn Lake. Investigators identified the group as the investigation expanded.
Well, that's what we internally refer to as the Memphis crew, because when those drugs got to the state line, those folks were recruited by someone who's already in the conspiracy.
For the officers and sheriffs who were being investigated, were they suspended at any time during this investigation?
Essentially, no. We did not make an approach to have them suspended because that would have absolutely identified the fact that an investigation was taking place.
Investigators say they hope these arrests turn into convictions.
I mean, that makes sense to me. If you go through and start suspending people because, I mean, you find out they're doing crime, that ruins the whole operation. You're trying to get to the very bottom of it. Who is all involved in this? That's what you want to find out. Hopefully they didn't let nobody get hurt or anything like that, but it makes sense that they didn't just start suspending people.
So justice can be served.
What the public needs to see, I think what all of us would want to see whenever you have any kind of corruption that we're dealing with, is accountability. And that's what the next step is delivering accountability.
In Oxford, Mississippi, Brian Ditlake.
Absolutely wild, y'all. Absolutely wild. Yeah. You got to throw the book at them. It's very obvious. You have to throw the book at them. That's the only way you can truly make it right. If you throw the book at them, that will help bring public opinion. Be like, oh, okay, they're taking this very seriously. They're not just giving them a slap on the wrist. But if you let them off, if you let them off with just something light, nah, the public is not going to trust you like that no more. Absolutely crazy. Let me know what your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. We got to review the world together, y'all. We got to review the world together. Absolutely crazy. Now we're going to pivot over into Michigan. We got to go to Michigan. I don't know if you heard about it yet, but there was a potential terrorist attack in Michigan that was stopped. So let's get over into it. We got a few videos to look at so we can find out all what happened. So let's get over into it and see what we can learn. Let's get into it. Let's get into this first video and see what we can learn about from this situation. Absolutely crazy. It's a cold world sometimes. We gotta review the world together.
Program for a breaking news alert from 7 News Detroit.
Right now, investigations are underway in at least 2 Metro Detroit cities after the head of the FBI announced that the agency thwarted a terror attack this morning in Michigan. FBI Director Kash Patel posting on social media earlier today saying multiple people were arrested this morning and claims they were plotting an attack over holiday weekend. Now, he did not say exactly where or when this attack would have taken place, but the Michigan FBI field office confirms with 7 News Detroit that the agents were in Dearborn and Inkster this morning, conducting what they're calling, quote, law enforcement activities. Now, they did not say what they were doing in those cities or give any details on any arrests. But we do have 7 News Detroit's Ryan Marshall, who is on Hogger Street, not far from Fordson High School in Dearborn. That's where the FBI tells us one of the raids happened this morning. Ryan, we know you've been on the scene for hours now. What can you tell us?
Well, good morning, Kiara. Yeah, we're here on the scene right now of where the FBI has raided this home near Fordson High School in Dearborn. Just moments ago, they took out what looked like, I don't know what it was, but it certainly looked to be some sort of computer component. They placed it in a car. There's the FBI evidence response team that came in and took something out of the house. Right now, they are currently in that home. It's unclear what in fact they are actually doing. I'm going to step out of the scene here for just a second here. FBI Director Kash Patel posted on social media earlier this morning that the agency has thwarted a potential terrorist attack and arrested multiple people who were allegedly plotting a violent attack over Halloween weekend. Now, the evidence response team is here from the FBI. The Michigan State Police Emergency Support Team also here, but it's unclear their involvement in this investigation. Now, the FBI hasn't released any additional details into when this raid actually happened, when and how specifically they believe the attack was going to go down, where it was going to take place, who specifically was involved in the planning of the attack, and who was being targeted. They've been inside this house all morning. We even saw them escort a woman out of the house not too long ago, maybe about 45 minutes ago or so. Now, we know, Kiara, that today is Halloween and thousands of people across the region will be on the streets trick-or-treating tonight. We're hoping to learn more from the FBI.
Absolutely crazy. You know, I'm not going to stop it too much, but yeah, they could have done a lot of damage. Especially on Halloween. Trick-or-treaters going around with their parents. You never know where they could have gone. Hopefully we get some more details. We got another video to watch. Hopefully they break down a little bit more about what they found, but it's a crazy situation. I will never understand why people would want to cause so much death and destruction towards people. Some people aren't human, truly aren't human, but they are arrested. They got to go through their trials. They have to go through, especially if they're, God, it's a crazy situation, absolutely crazy. But they're going to be judged by a jury of their peers, and hopefully they will be found guilty. But let's keep going into this.
Additional thing to note that Dearborn police told 7 News Detroit they were not made aware of this FBI conducted operations ahead of time, and they were not involved in any of the investigations. Certainly still a very fluid and active scene. As we get more information, we'll get it to you on air and online. But for now, I'm Ryan Marshall reporting live here in Dearborn near Fordson High School. We'll send it back to you, Kiara.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a very active scene. We can see one of the agents coming out of the home right now. Ryan, we appreciate that report. We have team coverage for you today. We also have 7 News Detroit's Tierra Braddock, who is on the scene of what we're told was another raid in Dearborn. This one was at Middle Point Street, which is near Tyerman Avenue. So, Tierra, tell us what you're seeing there.
Yes, hello, Kiera. We're on the scene right now. Now you can see the Michigan State Patrol car right behind me. Now I did see some people with FBI vests going inside that garage right there in that home. Now it looks to be they're focused on the home where that Michigan State police car is stationed right in front. Now I did speak to a neighbor who said that at around 4:30 in the morning, her husband heard a couple loud bangs, and when they got out, they saw a lot of police presence earlier this morning. And as you can see, they are still out here. Now we're still trying to piece together exactly what they're doing at this home. We have been seeing some agents come in and out, but not too many. You can see it's just one police car right here. We're going to guess that there's some other vehicles stationed around that might be unmarked, but I have been seeing people with FBI vests walking around along with the troopers. And again, as Ryan said, as we continue to get more information, we'll be making sure to update you all at home, on air, and online. But for now, reporting live in Dearborn, Tierra Braddock, 7 News Detroit.
Yes.
Absolutely crazy. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all, but we got to keep reviewing the world together. Let's finish
So many people wanting to know exactly what happened here, a thwarted terror attack right here in our state. We appreciate the work for you, Tierra, and also Ryan, trying to get us some more answers. And of course, we're going to be working this story all day.
Absolutely crazy. I feel like we got the gist of this video. Let's go on to the next video. Hopefully we find some more information about what is happening. So let's get over into it.
We are following some breaking news for you today out of Michigan. The FBI says it stopped a potential terrorist attack and arrested multiple suspects. FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed the raid in a tweet this morning and thanked the men and women of the FBI and law enforcement for their work. Here's his tweet on your screen right here. It says, this morning the FBI thwarted a potential terrorist attack and arrested multiple subjects in Michigan who were allegedly plotting a violent attack over Halloween weekend. More details to come. Thanks to the men and women of the FBI and law enforcement everywhere, standing guard 24/7 and crushing our mission to defend the homeland. Dearborn police also confirmed the FBI had conducted operations in the city this morning, but says there is no threat to the community at this time. They posted this to Facebook. It says, the Dearborn Police Department has been made aware that the FBI conducted operations in the city of Dearborn earlier this morning. We want to assure our residents that there is no threat to the community at this time. All right. We want to also go to our partners at CBS News Detroit for the latest. But again, we're told this happened this morning close to Detroit, Michigan. The FBI Director Kash Patel saying that they were basically able to thwart a potential terrorist attack. More details about that attack still not clear at the moment, but we know one of those suspects should be in court around 1 or 1:30 this morning. That information coming from our team at CBS News Detroit. Let's listen to them right now.
I'm Veronica Ortega in for Rochelle Graham. We're following breaking news as the FBI stops a potential terrorist attack in Metro Detroit. Right now, federal officials are raiding a home in Dearborn in connection with the alleged plot. CBS News Detroit's Gino Vici is live there now with more on the investigation. Gino, what can you tell us?
Well, Veronica, the FBI is still inside this home on Horger Street. This is directly across the street from Fortson High School. They've been going in and out of this home all day. They're currently searching cars in the driveway. Now, CBS has confirmed there were 5 individuals arrested between the ages of 16 and 20. Between 3 houses, 2 in Dearborn, 1 in Inkster. Now, sources say it was an ISIS-inspired group that was planning a Halloween attack. According to our sources, the teens had automatic weapons and were surveilled going to gun ranges and even had surveilled Cedar Point in Ohio for a potential attack there. Again, Dearborn Police and Inkster PD have confirmed the FBI raids there. 2 locations in Dearborn, 1 in Inkster. The Dearborn School District also...
Oh, hold on. They just gave us some good information. Let's back it up a tad bit. Back it up a tad bit.
Houses, 2 in Dearborn, 1 in Inkster. Now, sources say it was an ISIS-inspired group that was planning a Halloween attack. According to our sources, the teens had automatic weapons and were surveilled going to gun ranges and even had surveilled Cedar Point in Ohio for a potential attack there.
Absolutely crazy. So ISIS inspired attack. They were going to gun ranges, preparing, getting up their shooting skills, and they surveyed different areas. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
Again, Dearborn Police and Inkster PD have confirmed the FBI raids there. 2 locations in Dearborn, 1 in Inkster. The Dearborn School District also confirmed they were made aware of the situation prior to it happening. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel posted to the social media platform X this statement that reads, quote, "This morning, the FBI thwarted a potential terrorist attack and arrested multiple subjects in Michigan who were allegedly plotting a violent attack over Halloween weekend. More details to come. Thanks to the men and women of the FBI and law enforcement everywhere standing guard 24/7 and crushing our mission to defend the homeland," end quote. Right now, we have learned the suspects could be arraigned this afternoon. But again, right now, the FBI says there is currently no threat to the public. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Gino, for that live report. Continuing our team coverage this afternoon is Jack Springate, who is live outside the federal courthouse in Detroit with more. Jack.
Well, Veronica, the big question we're looking to get answers to right now are the identities of some of the people who were arrested earlier this morning in those FBI raids. And like Gino said, we're expecting some arraignments for one or a couple of these suspects at around 1 o'clock or 1:30. So we'll be bringing those details to y'all online as soon as we learn some of those. But there are a lot of other questions that we've been learning and getting answers to over the last hour even. You heard Gino talk about some of the people involved and exactly what the FBI alleges that they were planning. Now, one of the things that we also learned about why they're saying this was an ISIS-inspired group, what really put this investigation on their radar was after members of the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force uncovered a plot as 2 teens were online in an ISIS chat room, and that's where they were talking about these plans that Gino was mentioning, and that's what prompted this morning's FBI operation and those raids in Dearborn as well as in Inkster. So hopefully around 1 or 1:30.
They said 2 teens. 2 teens.
We may be able to get some more information just about, what tipped off police even more. Again, those arraignments expected to happen around 1 or 1:30. But this is really quite an unexpected way to start a Halloween morning. And we spoke to some neighbors just about how they were feeling seeing the FBI's presence in their neighborhood.
This is really, from being such a quiet neighborhood and a very nice neighborhood. There's no animosity in this neighborhood. I am not of Arab background. My husband is. I mean, we all get along fine. This is very new and scary to me.
And this was quite the coordinated effort we're learning this morning, as well as not just, members of the FBI and Michigan State Police were on scene. This involved the FBI hostage rescue team, along with SWAT teams from Cleveland, Chicago, of course, Detroit, Minneapolis, as well as Cincinnati. I'll be bringing you details up to the minute from the courthouse here as we learn more information coming from these arraignments this afternoon. But for now, reporting in downtown Detroit, I'm Jack Springate, CBS News Detroit.
All right, you were just listening to our team there on the ground at CBS News Detroit. But right now I want to go live to Anna Schechter because she's the senior coordinating producer of our crime and public safety unit. She should know much more about this. Anna, thank you so much for your time. I'm hearing you have new details about this incident. What can you tell us?
Well, sure. This is our justice team, our investigative team, our crime team. We've all been working our sources, and there was an online chat room, 2 teenagers, but others involved between the ages of 16 and 20. So the two of the arrests were minors. So those were teenagers. Others are being questioned, and it was a member of the Joint Terrorism Task Force that was actually in that chat room that identified this chatter about a potential plot to be carried out this weekend. But it is still unclear if that was really going to materialize or not. But they decided, the FBI decided, that it was worrisome enough that they need to step in this morning. Now,
if you're talking about it, it don't matter if you was really planning to do it or you're just chatting, trying to be, it's over with. You got to go get them. Simple as that. Nah, you can't be just talking like that. Well, and then if something happens and they knew about it, nah, then the public will be upset with them. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
One thing I just learned from a senior law enforcement source is that this is a continuation of a case that was being developed since last May, where an individual was arrested for being connected to ISIS, and that case then led to other investigative lines, which resulted in a human source inside that chat room. That's how the FBI got tipped off to this. So that's how this came together. This is not something that just happened in the last couple of weeks and somebody just happened to be lurking in that chat room. When I say that, I mean the FBI does have agents who work online. Their job is to get into the dark corners of the internet, be it far-right extremism, Islamic extremism, trying to get ahead of potential plots. And so that is what happened here, but they had leads. They were working a case over the last several months and they knew where to be, and that's how this happened. But it is unclear if this was just chatter and if it was actually going to be a real thing in real life or not, and we are still waiting. We also learned that likely charging documents will not be unsealed today. We're looking more towards tomorrow, so very unusual way this was announced early, and the rollout is highly unusual.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Teens over there chatting on the internet on an ISIS chat room, terrorist chat room, talking about they're going to gun ranges, shooting, got different machine guns. And then, yeah, you got to go get them. You have to. It don't matter if it was really going to amount to anything or not. You found the information. You know where they are. Go get them. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely wild. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know how you feel about that. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world we live in, but luckily they stopped it. Stopped it, even the potential of it even becoming something real. That is how the police, the FBI, that is how they need to operate. I don't want to see anything. If you know something, go get it. Then after you find out you've done enough investigations, don't wait till after something happens to be like, oh yeah, we knew about this happening, so we warned the public. Nah, I want go get them before they even move out the house. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation. It's a crazy world we live in. We got to keep reviewing the world together. We have to keep reviewing the world together. That's my saying, y'all. That's my saying. All right, but we got to pivot over into something a little, nothing as bad as terrorism, but let's get over into, we got an abandoned apartment that either somebody keeps setting it on fire, it keeps catching on fire, but it's caught on fire twice in the past 1 month. So let's get over into it. We got 2 videos to look at. We're going to look at first how it first caught on fire earlier this month, and then we're going to go over into how it just recently caught fire again. Yeah, I haven't seen the video yet, but sounds like somebody is either playing or they doing something. They out there setting fires. But let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this situation. Why haven't they tore down the building? That's the main thing. If they keep setting on fire, tear it down. But let's get over into it and see what they got to say. See what they got to say.
First tonight, Houston firefighters are still on the scene of what was a massive apartment fire at an abandoned complex in Spring Branch.
Yeah, this complex has been a problem in the neighborhood for years with squatters, crime, and fires. Today's fire happening the same day the city announcing plans to demolish the property along Westview at Gessner. Matt Doherty with the latest tonight.
HFD crews were out here for several hours today, making sure that the fire didn't spread to other parts of the property. It's not the first time this has happened. In fact, it's happened many times in the past.
This is probably my 5th or 6th fire.
Houston Fire Department District Chief Robert Branch has become very familiar with the former Park on Westview apartment complex. In fact, this is a look at another fire we covered at this same complex back in 2021.
We never have been able to catch anybody. We have a pretty good idea that the tenants, if you will, are probably involved in it.
The district chief says the power and utilities have been disconnected from the property for years. Nonetheless, the dilapidated and obviously hazardous property has been a long-time meeting place for transients, he says.
No, it's probably some homeless people in there that do like a barrel fire and then it just gets out of control to try to keep warm.
They usually set the fires, and they're way long gone before we ever got there.
It's among the many reasons why crews are careful when they put out the fires here, only using a defensive strategy.
And everybody goes, well, you know, there could be somebody inside. That's absolutely true, but you know, it's risk a lot to save a lot, risk nothing to save nothing.
Ironically, it was just announced earlier today by Houston City Council member Amy Peck that the property located at Gessner and Westview was purchased by the local tourist district. The abandoned apartments would be fully demolished within the next 6 months, with plans of housing a future fire department and police station. I spoke with the council member.
So it was set on fire right after the same day that they announced that it was being purchased and it's going to be a future fire department and police department.
Earlier tonight, who says the timing of by the local tourist district. The abandoned apartments would be fully demolished within the next 6 months, with plans of housing a future fire department and police station. I spoke with the council member earlier tonight who says the timing of the fire is certainly ironic. In an emailed statement, Peck writes, quote, "It just shows how big of a public safety concern this truly is." Yeah. The fire department says luckily nobody was injured and they did not find anyone else on the property. Lynn and me.
So yeah, that's good. That's good. No one was injured. It's definitely ironic. It's definitely a coincidence. I don't know if it was set intentionally. They haven't given us any thoughts that it was set intentionally because of that. But it is crazy. But it caught fire again. So let's get over into the next video and see what it's got to say.
Nuisance property in the Spring Branch area, the park on Westview Apartments, went up in flames this morning. It is the second time this month. Neighbors with safety concerns are demanding to know when it will be torn down. KPRC2 News reporter Joy Addison joining us now live from Spring Branch with some answers. Joy.
Well, Andy, the last time that I was out here, this hole was actually open and we saw people entering that abandoned property right here. It has since been closed. Well, today I spoke with Councilwoman Amy Peck and she says that fire happened yesterday evening. It's still under investigation, but it's believed to have been set by transients that are actually living on this abandoned property. She says that there are concerns that we'll continue to see these fires as the colder months approach. She believes they were trying to keep warm last night.
Right, what did I say?
Here's what we know about the plans for demolition of this property. This is the second fire in 30 days at this property. We know that there have been 18 311 complaints made in the last 2 years, 10 this year so far. Savannah Venegas visits this property daily and says she and residents are concerned about what they call an eyesore and playground for criminal activity.
They're constantly breaking this fence down. Maintenance is always walking by, kind of like using the zip ties, the turkey ties, to close it down.
Councilwoman Peck's office says this property has been purchased by Tier 17, a tax increment reinvestment program. It's due to be demolished. Their plan is for a police station and fire department to be built in its place. Tier 17 is working with Public Works to get demolition permits, and after a second fire, Councilwoman Peck says she wants it done more quickly than the 6-month deadline she set after the October 7th fire.
I would say it's really concerning for them, especially during the nighttime because it's dark. You know, there's no lighting over there, mostly for kids around this area around dismissal time when school's out. There's people over there and you don't know what these people are up to back there. So I would say that is something that the city needs to take care of as far as safety goes.
In the meantime, Tier 17 has hired 24-hour security to start in the near future and is working with HPD to get the people living here the proper resources they need before vacating.
People are going to do that to stay warm, you know, so that's another reason why they need to look into it, because things like that, who knows, they may have been able to stop the fire now, but what about next time?
100% correct. That is mainly, like they said, homeless people trying to get out of the cold. They set a fire, it gets out of control, and they leave. They come back, do it again because they want to get out the weather. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna set a fire. They're gonna make a fire. It's not they real home, so they don't really care about if it burns down to the ground. But it can be, it's potentially causes them death. So yeah, you got it. 6 months is too long. It's going, especially since this winter month's coming. You got to go ahead and demolish it now. I don't know how long it's going to take because they got to get building permits, but you got to do something because it's going to keep getting caught, set on fire. That's just is how it's going to be. 2 times in a month. Yeah, nah, it's going to keep getting. Let's finish up this video.
Now, there are 2 things that I'm able to confirm, although it is unfortunate and dangerous for the people who live in these apartments here behind me. When fires happen here, they can actually speed up that demolition process. And I can also confirm that the contract for the demolition of this property will be discussed at the next city council meeting. It's set on that agenda. Reporting from the Spring Branch area, Joy Addison, KPRC 2 News.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah. But, it's good that they're cutting it on the next council meeting. I don't know when the next council meeting is going to be. Hopefully it's soon. But yeah, they got to tear it down. They have to tear it down. It's as simple as that. And it's crazy there's going to be a fire department and police department. Fire and police department. Absolutely wild. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Are there any abandoned buildings near you that worry you that they might be, especially since it's getting cold, that they might set a fire in, that the homeless people might set a fire in and catch a fire? Absolutely wild, y'all. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are. Now we're going to pivot. We're going to pivot over into something I wasn't expecting to see. But there's a lot of these things I'm not expecting to see either. But a man disguises himself as a woman and records women in the locker room at a gym. We knew it happens. We know it happens. People love them. They're going to pretend to be a woman, and you can't say anything about it. You definitely can't, because you cancel culture. You can't say anything about it. Why? Because you trans rights, and then they might actually be transgender. It's a lot of weird scenarios. But I'm not saying people will use the trans agenda for their own personal gain to do some very sick things. We talked about this before. But let's get over into it and see what this sick individual looks like and see what we can learn about the situation. We got 2 videos to look at, a very short one and then a longer one, just so we can get the full picture of what's happening. So let's jump over into it and see what we can find out.
All right, in Montgomery County now, a Tacoma Park man is facing charges for secretly recording women in gym locker rooms while disguised as a woman. So 44-year-old Chikondi Tag.
I had to. Now, if we being honest, him dressed up as the woman on the left side, I wouldn't think anything of it. If he had a mask on his face, the hair down, I just think he wasn't. Being honest, it looked like just an ugly woman. You can't really tell, but yeah, I wouldn't think anything of it. But that is what he looks like under the mask. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's back it up a tad bit.
Woman. So 44-year-old Chikondi Taddy was arrested Wednesday at a Planet Fitness in White Oak after police followed him into a women's locker room wearing this disguise you see right there on the left. Investigators say Taddy allegedly did this at multiple gyms, including a One Life Fitness in Germantown, where a woman reported being recorded in the shower. Detectives are concerned there may be additional victims out there, and they're asking you to come forward.
Absolutely crazy.
Accused of posing as a woman to see.
Absolutely crazy, y'all. And you saw how the police had him. They said, get him in the picture with the disguise, and then take the wig off. Take the wig off and get him in the picture without the wig, so we can get the full picture of everything. But let's get over into this next video, and we can learn a little bit more about this, and we'll probably find an article about it.
Tacoma Park man accused of posing as a woman to secretly record women in gym locker rooms being held without bond tonight. Fox 5's Julie Donaldson live outside the Montgomery County Courthouse with those details tonight. Julie.
Hey, Marina. Well, the defense attorney asked the judge to consider a less restrictive option to being held without bond, arguing that while the crimes are problematic, they're not violent. But the judge, well, she disagreed with that, taking into consideration the danger of the crimes and the fact that there are 2 other pending charges in Prince George's County of similar offenses. Now, police first learned of the suspect on October 10th after a woman at One Life Fitness in Germantown reported a man entered the woman's locker room and recorded her in the shower. Investigators later identified the suspect as 44-year-old Chikunidi Tati of Tacoma Park, arresting him on October 9th at the Planet Fitness in White Oak. Police say that Tati was at the gym for 7 hours without working out. He would then put on a wig and pretend to be a woman to enter the locker room where he would film his victims.
No, hold on. So he didn't just hold on. I hope I'm not understanding it wrong. But they're saying he was at the gym for 7 hours, and then while he was at the gym, he came in as a man at the gym, and then while he was at the gym, he put on a wig and went into the locker room. Let's back that up a tad bit.
Of Tacoma Park, arresting him on October 9th at the Planet Fitness in White Oak. Police say that Tati was at the gym for 7 hours without working out. He would then put on a wig and pretend to be a woman to enter the locker room where he would film his victims. He would then hide his disguise while leaving to avoid detection. He is now facing up to a year in jail on multiple counts of peeping Tom and visual surveillance of a private area.
One of the biggest factors that a judge is looking at when determining bond is dangerousness. So in this case, the judge determined that there was no less restrictive means to ensure the safety of the community. People need to be able to feel safe when they are at the gym showering. So this defendant will remain held without bond until trial, which will be in district court on December 15th.
He could have easily done something terrible. Easily. He came in as a man. He got a pink jumper. He got a pink jumper on because he knew, okay, let's put the pink sweater on. We good. He walk in, got his wig in his bag with a mask. Come in, acting all good. He walks in, stays for 7 hours at the gym. Now, first thing first, I don't care what kind of gym you at. I don't know anybody staying at the gym 7 hours. And then while he's at the gym, maybe he goes in the bathroom, in the man's bathroom, or he might go around the corner till nobody see him, put on a wig, put the mask on, zip it up, walk right into the woman's bathroom and start recording women. He could have easily done something crazy. It gets late, nobody's in the bathroom. He could have easily started to try to do some wild stuff. Luckily, a woman reported him. Luckily, he was captured. And he's one sick individual. Anybody who do something like this is a sick individual. Absolutely crazy. Let's see what else you got to say.
Now, an interpreter was in court to translate as the suspect speaks language.
Don't tell me he's an illegal immigrant. Don't tell me that.
Gala, the native language of the Congo. Now, the defense attorney says he lives with his wife of 4 years and they have 2 young children.
There's more and more information out there that's just, this man lives with his wife and kids. How you going to look at your wife? Your wife is going to come to the courtroom. Well, she might not even come to, I don't know if she's going to come to the courtroom or not. She don't even want to be associated with you no more. But you in there, you got a wife at the house. You over there dressing up as a woman? That must be your wife wig. Don't tell me you wearing your wife wig up in there. Or don't tell me you bought a wig just to, oh my God. You are an embarrassment on your family. You are an embarrassment to your bloodline. That's what they'll say. You are an embarrassment to your bloodline. Absolutely. Hold on.
Police do believe that there may be other victims, and they're urging anyone with information to come forward.
Where is he at? Where is he at? See, you see that the police, they had to do it. You see that strong hand they got on his arm? They said, yeah, get in the picture. Keep the wig on. They keep the wig on. Then they, like I said, they snatch the wig. You are an embarrassment to your bloodline. You are an embarrassment to your people. I want to know if that's his wife wig. Is that his wife wig and jacket, or did he buy that? Which one's worse? If that's his wife wig and his jacket and her jacket, or if he bought it himself just for this, which one is worse? There are some sick individuals in this world, y'all. You have to be careful. Look after your kids. Look after the women. Look after the children. Because we got the same type of people who will go into a women's locker room and not even be for women. They'll be going for little girls. Little girls. You lucky somebody, a husband ain't see you do that. They would have beat the brakes off you. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation. Is that his wife's wig? Is that his wife's wig? Or did he buy that just for this situation? 7 hours staying in the gym. He come in as a man, change while he in the gym into a woman, then change back so he can leave out so nobody be aware. Nobody be suspicious. But you in there for 7 hours, I'll be suspicious no matter what. You come there often for 7 hours? And I don't see you work out once? Nah, bro, you doing something crazy. You're doing something crazy. But he has been caught. And hopefully all the victims come so he can get the fullest extent of the charges. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. And let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. So, wild world, well, we got to review it together. We have to review it together. Now, we're going to pivot into the last thing we're going to talk about today is Julio murder. Julio murder. He's a rapper, and his murder trial has begun. And most recently, a girl, the first person on trial, has been sentenced. So we're going to get over into first. We're going to watch the body cam footage they got body cam footage of several people being arrested, including her, I believe. And then we're going to go over to her being sentenced. They say that she showed no emotion when she was sentenced, but she was sentenced to a lesser charge than what they wanted. But let's get over into it and see what we can find out from this situation. Like I said, we're going to go into the arrest first and see what we can learn from the situation. Absolutely crazy. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Driver, open the car door. Let me see your hands. Step on out. Step on out. Look away. Back up to the sound of my voice. Yep. Stop right there. Lift your shirt up. Turn. Do a 360. What? Just listen to us. We'll talk about it. Keep going. Keep going. Turn. Now walk back to the sound of my voice. Come on. Keep coming. 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 Walk back to me. Can't find your back. Anytime Fitness, it was at 4:13 is when that thing was.
Isaiah 10, this is the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. We are here for a driveway.
Boy, they out there in that rain trying to get you. They don't care. You see, pouring rain. They just sitting there with the gun waiting. Let's keep going.
They warrant for your arrest. Come to your front door with nothing in your hand. We are not going away. We're heading your way to a... Hands up! Hands up.
You're gonna come Come on now, hands up. Put your hands up.
Target to the officer.
Can't tell.
The target? Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. Yep. Put your hands up.
Listen, put your
hands in the air. Hands up.
Hands in the air. Hands in the air.
All right. Slowly walk toward me. Let's go. Right here, right here. Walk right here. Let's go. Yeah.
Walk this way. Listen to the instructions.
Yep.
Hey, get your hands up and walk out towards me. Hey, over here.
Come this way.
Over here. You're going to get hit with the less lethal. Get your hands up and walk towards me. Hands up and walk
Like you don't want to get his
towards me.
shoes dirty? What you doing?
Hands up and walk towards me. Keep coming. Keep coming. Coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Stop. Stop. Turn around. Keep your hands up. Turn around. Hands up. Keep your hands up. Hands up. Don't reach for your waist. Do not reach for your waist. Look at me. Back up to me. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Oh.
All right, go to your knees.
Fast forward a little bit.
Isaiah. Stand up.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Now turn around.
She ain't even got shoes on. Even got your girlfriend out there. Your old lady.
Is there anybody else inside?
Sitting in the rain. Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into the first suspect who was sentenced. Let's get over into it.
Breaking news as we come on the air tonight within the last.
So that last girl we saw, Alicia Andrews, this is her. She was found guilty of manslaughter. So let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this situation.
Last hour, a jury in Tampa found Alicia Andrews guilty of manslaughter in the deadly shooting of Jacksonville rapper Julio Fulio. The jury reached the verdict after spending hours deliberating tonight. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Chris Hurst is live at the Hillsborough County Courthouse tonight. And Chris, the jury handed down the lesser charge.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. Alicia Andrews had been charged with first-degree murder, but the jury had the option of convicting her of a lesser offense still related to the homicide of Julio Fulio. They did that, convicting her of manslaughter, finding her not guilty of conspiracy to kill Julio Fulio. The verdict was announced at about 10:30, so just about a half an hour ago. The jury deliberated for about 4 hours. The judge asked them around the 10 o'clock hour, do you want to stay and keep going or maybe come back someday next week and continue deliberations? They all said they wanted to go back, get this figured out, get this finished, and we do have this verdict in the first of what will be many cases in the murder of Julio Fulio. It comes after Alicia Andrews testified this morning. There were closing arguments this afternoon. Now, during closing arguments, prosecutors told the jury Andrews helped plan the trip from Jacksonville to Tampa with her co-defendants, and she helped them stalk and hunt down Julio Fulio. They also pointed to her interview with police, saying she lied and covered for her boyfriend, one of the accused gunmen. The defense contended she had no idea about the plan, and Andrews testified she was, and still is, scared of her boyfriend and the ongoing gang war at the root of the murder. In the end, the jury made its decision.
We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1. The defendant is guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense.
Now, the judge has sent a date for sentencing for December 8th. As we've said before, Andrews is just one of 5 charged in connection to the death of Julio Fulio that happened last year in Hillsborough County.
Absolutely crazy. Manslaughter. Luckily, there wasn't hands of one, hands of all. They would have all been charged with murder. But I think they said that she gave a statement saying that she was abused by the boyfriend and she was scared of the boyfriend and all that stuff. It's a crazy world. But hey, you do the crime, got to do the time. They had them out in the rain with no shoes on. She had to come up out of the house, and that was her boyfriend who was one of the last ones to get arrested. I think it was the second to last one we watched. Absolutely crazy, y'all. But she has been found guilty of manslaughter, so it's not going to be as long as her boyfriend gets, but she's going to be in jail and have a record. Now, how do y'all feel about that? If you've been following the case of Julio Fulio, how do you feel about her getting manslaughter? Absolutely wild, y'all. Absolutely wild. But we will keep up with this and keep up with all the sentencing of all the 5 suspects. Absolutely wild. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world, but we got to review the world together, y'all. We have to review the world together. Now, that is the end of the show. It's a beautiful Saturday. Hopefully you all have a good rest of y'all day. We did a little good job, a little past an hour and 15. But like always, if you disagree with anything I said, let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion about it. Like, these videos will be broken down so that you can get the individual videos. We are a little early today because I got something to do afterwards. But we cannot miss. We cannot miss. But thank you all for watching now. Thank you for watching later. Like always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can be up to date on all the videos. You already know I got to play the outro, but that is it for now. Peace. I'll see y'all back on Tuesday.